And hello, all you beautiful people. I hope everybody's had a good week. It's Friday night now, and it's the weekend, so that means we're all going to, I don't know, do whatever it is we do on the weekend. For me, this weekend, that's going to be working on the Alternative Political Views study, which is coming along pretty good. As I said, I am actively working on it. It's just a it's a big project. It's a lot of work, but it's really, I think, going to be worthwhile. I think people are going to find it really interesting once it's done, and the stuff like that. Yeah, I like the edge of map scrolling too. I'm just sorry. I'm just trying to get this set up. I just there we go. All right. So I'll be taking your questions, etc. So we're just going to continue on the Kaiserreich playthrough. So I'm in doing the East Asian direction. The third Weltkrieg has started. So my hope is that I can hold on long enough, or that the Internationale can hold on long enough that I'll be able to deal with Germany uh, until I can. Yeah, okay, that was completely incoherent, and I apologize for that. But yeah, the study's going good, guys. It's going to be done fairly soon, I hope. At least the actual finishing it, putting the presentation and report together is going to take a while because it's a big thing. I don't know. I think I might be screwed here. The Third International seems to be losing pretty rapidly to the the German Empire, which is not a good thing. Let's see here. I think what I'm gonna do, because this game is boring if France just immediately loses, is I'm gonna switch over to France and turn on faster construction and tag ENG. Faster construction. I'm trying to remember who else is part of the Internationale. Oh, right, the Socialist Republic of Italy. Tag SRI. Is that Mussolini? It is Mussolini. That's hilarious. I had forgotten that he was. I don't know. He doesn't normally become the head of the. Hey, how am I? I'm actually doing really good. Really good. Had some good life changes going on lately. In a much better place mentally. So, yeah, I'm actually. Things are not bad. Things are not bad, I guess you could say. So. I gained some weight back in the last couple months just from various stress things, but I'll just lose it. I'll just have to lose it again. I am starting to go to the gym, so that'll be a long, slow process. I'm not going to go crazy or anything, but I'm going to start doing some strength training. No, I'm not in my 30s. I'm in my late 20s. It'll be a couple years, I suppose, until I'm 30, but yeah, I was at 240 and then I got down to 210 and then I'm back at 220, but I'm getting back on the horse. As I said, I had a lot of personal shit going on, but my work situation's a lot better now, so that's good. It's good. Let me see here. Do I have anything else? Is there any hope for Gen Z buying a house? Gen Z, that's an interesting question. Although I've kind of started to consider it a bit myself, with what I'm gonna do, because I have money saved up. Um, I have a fair amount of money saved up, and renting is expensive, but so is buying a place. So I've been thinking about maybe getting a condo at some point. Because maybe that would be better to just be paying, instead of paying rent, be paying towards my mortgage every month. Maybe that would probably be a better long-term financial decision. I'm not sure. I'll think about it. There's no need to rush into this sort of thing. C claim Shinkang. Uh, what's Monsieur Z? I'm not sure what that is, to be honest. CHL. Nation of Z. Oh, okay. Yeah, is there any hope for a Gen Z buying a house? It's an interesting question. Um, I don't know. It's the housing market is really weird because they keep building like a ton, but then they just bring in more immigration. So it's I don't know. It's very difficult to determine. Yeah, with regards to credit, as I've told you guys many times on this channel, uh, something you should do is when you're as soon as you can get a credit card and just pay it off every month, and that starts to build up your credit score. So yeah, okay, so Japanese or Chinese character says, um, when you reach your late 20s, 30s, your credit will be stellar after years of paying off monthly credit card payments on time, and you can easily get a home loan. Yep, that's what I've been doing. I got a credit card when I was, I think, like 14 years old, and I just pay it off every month. I mean, it's like it's not like I don't have the money to just buy stuff normally, but you normally get reward points of some description, and it builds up your credit. Like for me, I took student loans even though I didn't technically need the money, and then I paid it back. So yeah, if you have an opportunity to do something like that, I'd probably recommend it. Because a good credit score is very helpful. Thoughts on Jay Dyer? I don't know anything about Jay Dyer. I should look him up. At some people always ask me about Jay Dyer. He's just not someone I am very knowledgeable about, to be honest. Okay, take out Mongolia. I'm maybe I'll put off intervening in the that war. Yeah, I don't really know much about Jay Dyer. I'm sorry. I don't really know what to think about it, to be honest. Do you play Elder Scrolls games? I I've only played Oblivion and Skyrim. I was not a big Oblivion fan. I played a lot of it when it came out because I didn't really know any better. But to be honest, it's kind of bad. I didn't think it was very good. Now, like looking back at it, it was just kind of like the first kind of open world FPS I ever played, and because of that, I was like really impressed by it. but I kind of just found it really boring. The combat in those games is atrocious, and I'm gonna stand by that. The combat in the Elder Scrolls games is terrible, especially once I played Dark Souls later on and I saw like how good sword combat could be. Skyrim was like okay, I guess. I found Skyrim kind of boring. It was less. The combat was also horrible again, but yeah. Hey, Torture Room. Uh, hey, Arjun, how's it going? It's actually going good. It's actually things are going pretty good actually in my life. Just need to lose some weight and things will be going great. So yeah. By the way, Classic WoW was released this past month. Have you tried it out yet? What's Classic WoW? Is that like it before they like put all the random shit in? I'm not sure what the difference is between it and regular WoW, to be honest. But yeah, I WoW was interesting because I played it a bit back in the day, and I liked it. I just by the time I got a computer that was good enough to play WoW, there was just so many better like options available that I just wasn't really that interested in WoW. My issue with WoW has always been just the graphics engine is so underpowered. It's just extremely like it's kind of pathetic. And I didn't really get it, and I found it really boring and like just and not very interesting. So I guess that's kind of how I felt about WoW. So I came back to it a couple years ago. I forget what the latest expansion was. I think the latest expansion was Warlords of Draenei was the latest expansion, and they had put that thing in where you got. I think isn't there a thing in newer WoW where you get a bonus XP on previously complete like on older content. So I actually played through the entire game and I did I think the Burning Crusade and I forget what the other DLC is. I think I did there was Burning Crusade and I forget what the one was after that. Let me just look this up. I'm just looking for an expansion list. I think I played Wrath of the Lich King. And then, yeah, Cataclysm was the one I stopped on. That was the one I got bored on. So I only ever really played a Warlock. I initially had an Undead Warlock. But then when I replayed, I was a Blood Elf Warlock. And yes, I will confess I was a female Blood Elf Warlock. You can yell at me, but if I was going to have to be staring at something, the back of something for like 100 hours, I preferred it to be an attractive female. Let's see here. I play retail semi-frequently. Yeah, so I thought like the newer textures were okay. I think the biggest issue with WoW was it just never really was able to modernize itself. Like I felt they just kind of got lazy as time went on, and they just I don't know. I know it's kind of like it's weird to complain about the graphics, but it's just I don't know. I think it's just some laziness on their point. Let's see here. I have aircraft. Oh, I do have aircraft. I didn't think I had any. Let's see here. Disband air wings. The engine's very CPU bound. But yeah, I think if they had I think the issue though was it was kind of a victim of its own success. WoW was so popular because it was so accessible and like any computer could run it. The issue was because WoW was so successful, they couldn't update it because if they updated it very much, then not everyone would be able to run it. So they were kind of stuck where they were. I've tried a couple different MMOs over the years. The only MMO I'd say I really liked was the Old Republic, which is excellent. But the Old Republic is good because it's like basically not an MMO, and you don't have to do like anything social in it. You have your own companions, and there's lots of NPCs to interact with. There's really no reason the Old Republic even needed to be like that. Like they could probably just take out like a lot of the repetitive quests and release it as a standalone game, and it would be like better. So I don't know. It's frustrating. But no, the Old Republic is excellent though. Did anyone watch Hobbs and Shaw? I saw Hobbs and Shaw. It was a pretty good movie. I thought it was a lot of fun. It's really, I'm a Fast and the Furious fan. I liked them. This one was as aggressively masculine as all the others were, although this one had Idris Elba too, who did like a good job as like a campy cyborg. The plot made no fucking sense, but like them going back to Samoa and like fighting the like commando team with like traditional Maori weapons was awesome. It just like is crazy shit. The biggest issue I had with it was just the trash talking between um Hobbs and Shaw got kind of boring. Like it just went on and on and on, and it was just very, I don't know, I just thought it got kind of obnoxious after a while. But overall, not a bad movie. Not a bad movie. I love how nobody cares about Han's death. Like, you know how Shaw killed Han in I think was it Furious 6? I think it was Furious 6. He killed Han, and like nobody cares, which I just find really funny. Have you read the new Berserk chapter? No, I haven't actually read Berserk. I've just ooh. Okay, cool. Take all states. Okay, I'll take Uyghur to start off with. And Mongolia. Oops. And there we go. We finished our eastward expansion. So I think I'm going to liberate Tibet. There's no real reason to keep Tibet. The fate of northwestern China. Create the Hunjiang Republic. Let me see, do I have claims to this area? No, it's a colony state. It's not one of my core provinces. I think I'll go with that. Oh, okay. I thought that might be bigger. Oh, let's see here. Restore an independent Mongolia. Integrate Mongolia. Continue. I'm going to go with integrate Mongolia. Claude or Edelgard? The Tuvan question. Yes, Tuvin will be monk Russian once more. Okay, so I'll leave these armies in the far east to deal with this, and we will send everybody else back west. I should soon be able to turn my attention elsewhere to what's going on in Europe. And it looks like the Commune of France is slowly losing, but yeah. Do you play other big strategy games like Civ? Yep. Yep, I play Civ. Beyond Earth was really disappointing. I mean, it was okay, I guess. Beyond Earth wasn't very good. I'm the only person who liked Civ 6. I actually thought Civ 6 was pretty good. I didn't really get, I guess, why people hated it so much, but I don't know. Let's see, I'll just promote some of my generals. Combined arms expert. Combined arms, I guess. Okay, so that gave me a substantially larger number of people. So let's see here. What's going on? Yeah, I'm just building some cavalry. The issue now, I guess, is just not enough military production to fill all the to arm all the people I now have available for military service. Let's see here. Oh, I don't have logistics companies? And that explains a lot. Okay. That. And... yeah, I'll give them a signal div company. There we go. What's my favorite Command and Conquer game? Tiberian Sun. Tiberian Sun is my favorite CNC game. No question. I absolutely love Tiberian Sun. Everything about it. I like the gameplay. I like the story. I like the cutscenes. I like the setting, the kind of the background, the lore of it. Yeah, Tiberian Sun's by far my favorite CNC game. I haven't looked at EU4 in a long time. Part of the issue is EU4 is really good, and I played a lot of it, but I had played so much EU3, it just kind of EU'd me out a bit. I don't know. Also, Paradox's DLC policy just irritates me. Like, it kind of makes me not want to buy anything from them. It just bothers me how much they, you know, try to lizard people you out of your money, I guess is the term we'll say for that. I just really, yeah. It's not as EU4 isn't as bad as what they did with CK2. What they did with CK2 and just the constant shit they shoved in, and that they're continuing to shove in, is just unbearable. My understanding is, like, some people tell me the game is like borderline unplayable now. Does that include Firestorm? Firestorm's good. Firestorm's just very, very weird. Like, everything about Firestorm is very strange. Not that it's like bad, it's just very strange. Let's see here. What's the best Naruto arc and why is it the Pain arc? Okay, so here's the thing about me and Naruto. I never actually watched Shippuden. I just kind of, because I've always been really big into like Naruto fan fiction. So I've read a lot of that, and I've kind of read like summaries of everything that happened, but I've never. Shippuden is just too long. I'm gonna be honest. Shippuden is just like super super long, so I've just never really been able to like watch it. Also, show Naruto pisses me off. I really hate show Naruto. Fan in Naruto is a lot better. Um, Fan in Naruto has like no resemblance to show Naruto. It's kind of funny. It's one of those cases where he's much better. Harry Potter's the other one. Fanon Harry is way better than Canon Harry. Like how everybody writes him is better than how Rowling does. Naruto is one of those characters. Sasuke is interesting because he is someone called him the most divisive character in fandom, and it's kind of true because literally like half of people think he's like the shit, and the other half of people hate him. Sakura is not divisive. Pretty much everyone just hates her. Like absolutely no one likes Sakura. Um, yeah. Oh fuck. Okay. Damn it! If France collapses, I'm screwed. There's no way I'm going to be able to beat Germany. I don't know. We'll see. I guess White Russian bonds. I guess I'll go with claim transmere maybe. At the expense of making all of my remaining viewers leave, I've kind of wanted to do fan fiction reviews at some point. Because, I mean, I read a lot of it, and I think it's a very interesting genre. So I kind of wanted to, like, start picking some ones I really liked and just talking about why I liked them. So I might do that at some point in time. Yeah, there's a couple Naruto ones I'd like. Actually, the fandom I find has like the best is maybe like a Song of Ice and Fire. I'm reading this really good. It's actually what I'd read a while back, but the author put out some more chapters, so I'm just rereading the entire thing all the way through. Which was it's called A Rose and a Lion, and it's where Tywin Lannister dies a couple years before the books, and Tyrion becomes the Lord of the Westerlands, and he marries Marjorie Tyrell, which was interesting. Which actually is a really interesting pairing that I never really thought of, and I kind of really like actually. But it's a really good, well written story. Yeah, there's a couple like fan fiction. What was I thinking of again? Something about. Sorry, I've completely lost my thought there for a moment. Something. What was I talking about? Song of Ice and yeah, there's been a couple like crack pairings that that like a Song of Ice and Song of Ice and Fire fandom has introduced to me that I really like. I like Jamie Sansa is a good one. The Cersei and Ned is actually very interesting, and it's kind of fascinating how how well it sort of works. So that's kind of an interesting crack pairing. Sansa Jamie I really like actually. There's one I might actually like do this and do reviews of them. There's one really good one I like called the I think it's like the Lioness and the Prince of the Sun, where it's where Tommen and Joffrey both die at the purple wedding, and Myrcella becomes queen and takes Tristan as her husband, and that was actually pretty interesting too. And they do an interesting job of portraying her, just being very, very different from how Joffrey does. She's much less of a puppet. It's kind of too bad we don't see more of Myrcella. She seems like a really nice girl. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm not really sure what to do at the moment in this game because I do have a pretty large industrial base, but not nearly large enough to equip armies of Russian size. I guess I could go back to building civilian factories, maybe. I don't know. I don't think I'm ever going to be able to afford... maybe late game I'll be able to build a fleet, but not at the moment. Let's see here. The Russian Empire. Random stuff. I'll research some more construction upgrades, so hopefully this will go a bit faster, but I think one of the few complaints I have with the Filterkrieg mod is just Germany is too powerful. It's very, very rare I've seen a game where Germany loses. The Entente, no, not the Entente, the Third International just isn't powerful enough to do anything. I should be able to build my own alliance at some point. I'm just waiting for an event to fire. Form a new global alliance. Oh, I'm not allowed to do that? Oh, no, right, I can't. Oh, I just can't for another year or two. That's fine. Then I'll just deal with this. A powerful Germany is kind of the point, but it kind of hurts from a gameplay perspective. Communist France has capitulated. Oh, you know what I often will do? Now I remember what I did last time. I might join the co-prosperity sphere. That might be what I wind up doing. That actually kind of makes sense for Russia to do. As part of a Eurasian government. A Eurasian alliance. So I think what I'll do is, when I'm ready to enter the war, I'll join the co-prosperity sphere. Yeah, the co-prosperity sphere is like what I join in these games when I don't have a faction to join. Like when I was doing a playthrough as the American Union state, Mexico had joined the Reichspakt actually. So because Mexico is part of the Reichspakt and I needed to take it, I wound up going to war with them. So I couldn't join them, and I couldn't join the Entente because I was claiming Canada. So I went on and joined the the co-prosperity sphere. Yeah, Germany I think is a lot stronger in this than it was in the HY2 version. Part of that is just because your allies are a lot better, and Germany's allies are much more competent in this than they were in Darkest Hour. I remember them sucking in Darkest Hour. Who is best Hokage? That's a tricky one. I always feel kind of bad for the second Hokage. Because like no one like knows who he is or cares about him. Like everybody knows who like the first one is, the third one is, the fourth is, but no one like knows or cares who the second is. He's just like some random dude. I've always thought that was funny. Yeah, I used to watch Codename Kids Next Door. It wasn't a bad show. I liked it. Those things are kind of always interesting. There's another one I really liked. Oh, what's it called again? The one with the safety patrol that was like a hard boiled Fillmore. I think that was what it's called, Fillmore. I really liked Fillmore. That was one of Tara Strong's roles. Fillmore's like a hard boiled detective like film noir that takes place at like a junior high with like the safety patrol as like the cop department, and there's like a corrupt yeah. um a complaint I wish Naruto had red hair. That's something that would make this show better if Naruto had have inherited his mother's hair. That would have made this show better, and if he had have learned Flash Step, or whatever it's called. I can't pronounce this. It's like here some whatever flying thunder god teleportation technique his father had. Did anybody like not figure out that the fourth Hokage was his father? Like, was that a surprise to anybody? Like, I remember when the first episode of Naruto came out, and I watched it, and I saw the photo of him on the wall. I'm like, that's obviously Naruto's father. Like, 100% chance that that's his father. There's no way that he's not. It would not make sense otherwise. I know there was a guy I knew back in high school, and he was that guy, and he just denied. He's like, no, the fourth Hokage isn't Naruto's father. He's just not. It can't be the case. So. Yeah, so that was something. I th- yeah, I hate Kakashi. Maybe I'm like unique about this, but I've just always really hated Kakashi. I like to call him the worst sensei ever. Because he is. He's a horrible sensei. He doesn't teach Naruto shit other than tree climbing. He just leaves Sakura to like run off by herself, and he just focuses all his attention on Sasuke. He's like, sorry Naruto, I'm gonna leave you with this dude. I'm not gonna explain anything to you. Don't worry guys, it's all gonna be okay. I'm sure you guys are smart, you'll figure it out. Talk to you guys later. Like, they're just such fucking like, and he just never shows up on time, and he's a pervert, and like all this other shit. I don't know. I'm not a big fan um of Kakashi. He's often the villain in fan. Well, not a villain. Just people often hate him in fan fiction. He's also kind of divisive. I used to fight with friends in school over Toby being Obito. It was always so obvious to me. Um, I mean, I don't think Toby should be Obito, and the reason he shouldn't have been is that it's stupid, and the fact that Madara wasn't actually Madara like really pissed me off. It's like Snake not being Snake in the Phantom Pain. Like, like get your shit together, guys. um, yeah. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Let's see here. So Tsunade is another very device. Okay, so my view of Jiraiya, who's probably actually I'm trying to think who my favorite Naruto characters are. Probably Hinata, Jiraiya, and um, Pain. I think I'd say are my three favorite Naruto characters. Which I know is kind of a weird mixture. Jiraiya, I view as like an extremely tragic figure. I view him as like an extremely tragic hero because I feel like a lot of his hedonism stems from the fact that he did truly love Tsunade, but she never gave him like a chance. Like I feel like a lot of it is ongoing depression and why he became such a pervert and became kind of the way he is because uh of the because she never like gave him a chance at all, and that's kind of how I feel about him. Is that he's kind of a broken man, but at the same time he is. I think you have to give him a lot of credit for out of the Sannin, he's the only one who's still like active. The other ones have either betrayed or just run away. Um, but no, like I tend to blame most of his personal failings on that. People don't like Tsunade because an issue Naruto has is just that a lot of the female characters, because they go with the whole like them punching the male characters in the heads, which I find incredibly obnoxious, and that's one of the reasons I hate Sakura. I don't find it funny. I just find it like annoying, which is also like one of my biggest issues with Asuka. But that's neither here nor there. But Tsunade just has a really bad temper, and she's just kind of a bitch. And I don't really know what else there is to say about it than that. She's just kind of a bitch, and yeah, but the thing I gotta give Naruto an immense amount of credit for is I was not expecting Naruto Hinata. Like I was literally not expecting it. I was shocked. Like I was legitimately shocked when they wound up together, because it's like it goes against like everything in anime. Like it's so weird that he didn't wind up with Sakura and then she just abuses him for like the next 20 years. My biggest complaint is that Naruto and her only had 2 children. They should have had like 10 children. There's no reason for them not to, and their children would be like of like amazing genetic quality. Let me think. Who else do I like? Gara, I really like as a character. I've liked him ever since we first saw him. He was really good. I think he's really well written. Gar I really like. I wish we had gotten more Shino, because like Shino isn't like that important a character. Um, but I do like his destruction bugs. I feel like he might be the strongest of like the Konoha 12. He just doesn't get any screen time, so we really have no idea. Um, I've been meaning to do a Naruto character profile. It's on my list. Basically, I'm going to talk about like how Naruto went from being a loser to being like the biggest winner in like the history of winners. Like he's so fucking successful. Like let's look at it for a minute. Okay, so Naruto is like the most powerful person to live since the Sage of the Six Paths. Okay, so he's the most powerful person. He's married to an absurdly beautiful princess who loves him to the point of obsession. And yeah, so there's that. Then he has two beautiful children. He's the military dictator of the most powerful ninja force on Earth. And he's widely loved and respected. Like, he becomes like a super, like, Chad winner. Um, who else do I like? I do like Tamari. I like Shikamaru a lot. Shikamaru is kind of based. He's kind of. I like to think of Shikamaru as being kind of like a conservative. Because he always complains about, like, women knowing their place and shit like that. It, like, talks about his duty as a man. So I like Shikamaru a lot. I think that's kind of the strength of Naruto. Even if, like, the overarching plot, it can kind of be, like, a shit show at times. It carries along very much on the strength of the characters. Even the minor characters in Naruto tend to be pretty well developed and have quite a bit of depth to them. Which I think is once again another one of the things that I think it succeeded so well as a series. Pain though, I think I don't know. I really love Pain though. Pain might be my. He was the best villain. I think Pain was a better villain than Madara. Um, I kind of was sad. I had kind of been hoping this series would end when Pain died because I just find him very, very, very sympathetic. Maybe because just like me, he suffers from like severe depression, but just his motivations I find are very relatable. It's interesting that he has kind of a polite personality, and he's not particularly like mustache twirling evil in the way that he behaves. I just found him a really really good villain. Something I really liked was how they tied everything together, like how Naruto is named after Jiraiya's book by the same name, and how the Minato named Naruto after it, and then how Jiraiya was his godfather, etc. Something I've always really liked in Naruto is the focus on like what you pass on to the next generation. That's something I've always really liked. Like, it very much the Will of Fire is very much a uh, I view it as kind of like right wing nationalism because it's all about preserving the traditions and dreams of the previous generation and passing them on to your children, and that's ultimately what's the most important thing. That and the willingness to sacrifice yourself for the greater good, and that the nation state should function as an extended family. Um, Will you do more videos on employment-related issues? Sure, at some point. I don't know. I have a lot of shit to make, guys. That's nice, though. That's the nice thing about covering a lot of different stuff is you never run out of content to do. There's always lots of things to talk about in this world. But, yeah, no, Naruto is really good. I think it's one of the few cases in which I've seen something of that scale done well. If none of you guys have played it, Ultimate Ninja Storm is really 3 is really good because that covers the Third Shinobi World War, as well as the you have this amazing it had really good music. You have Madara versus the 5 Kage, which is really cool. You have Naruto's big fight with Tobi. You have a lot of just like feels moments, like trying to think where are some of the feels moments. Sorry, I'm losing my train of thought here. Oh, like where Kurama and Naruto finally agree to work together. That was a really good one. Yeah, Naruto has a lot of plot devices. There's a lot of fucking plot devices. What's your favorite faction in Command and Conquer? Well, the problem with Command and Conquer is I've always wanted to like GDI, but GDI is just really boring. Like, GDI has no flavor to it. It's just kind of like generic America. Like, Nod is much more interesting and complex, and they're really, I guess you could say, the protagonists. I don't know if Heroes is really... Ninja Storm 3 has with the Shinobi world at stake, which is amazing. But yeah, Nod is just is a lot more interesting. The characters tend to be a lot better. GDI, like it feels like they never really put much effort into it, which is kind of sad. Outside of that, in the Red Alert universe, I liked all the Red Alert factions. I like the Soviets. I like the Allies. I like what's the other one? The Empire of the Rising Sun. I really like that was when I was playing RA4. I normally would play as Japan. Japan or the Soviet Union. I guess Japan I kind of would play more as because I really liked how versatile they were. But the Allies I thought sucked in Red Alert 3. I thought in Red Alert the Soviets were unfairly overpowered. Then in the second video, in Red Alert 2, I thought it was very well balanced. I'd actually say Red Alert 2 was probably the most balanced of the CNC games. It was pretty even between the Soviets and the Allies. They both had very good aspects to them and very bad aspects to them. Red Alert 3, I thought the Allies were underpowered. I think part of it and part of the issue was with Red Alert 3 is just that the focus changed to just because every unit in the game had an ability in Red Alert 3, and I didn't like the amount of micromanaging that brought with it. And the US was very much the Allies were very much based on micromanaging abilities. So yeah. Fuck, the German Empire just canceled their alliance with me. I mean, their non-aggression pact with me, so hopefully they won't invade me now because I don't have nearly the number of troops to face it off. What's the most fun game I've ever played? That's a hard one. In terms of just like not quality, not like
feels or anything. I'd say in terms of pure fun, the most fun game I've ever played is probably Saints Row 4. Saints Row 4 is like one of the most retardedly awesome things I've ever seen. If you've never played Saints Row 4, I'd really recommend it because it is like I don't know how it got made. They must have been really drunk when they made Saints Row 4. It's like it's somehow a parody of The Matrix and Mass Effect 2 that was made like years after neither of those was relevant anymore. But I don't know, it just has great licensed music. There's so many like great parodies in it, like from Zero Dark 30, stuff just like really random parodies. But no, I really like Saints Row 4 is awesome. I'm trying to think what other games were a lot of fun. I guess all the Fire Emblem games I like. Well, you guys know I'm a huge Fire Emblem fan. Yes, NX White with you. Do you believe a small gang of elite effectively run America? No, I don't. I don't think America's run by lizard people, and I would ask you not to mention that on this channel, please. Don't talk about the lizard people. Um, but no, seriously, I don't know. America kind of is. I don't have anything particularly interesting to say on that at the moment. Persona 4. I had not expected. Persona 4 was like way better than I thought it was going to be. All the Persona games are really good. They're all just like super feels. Persona 5 is I kind of want to get a PS4 or no, cuz it's on PS3 too. I kind of want to get a PS3 just to play Persona 5. I admit I don't understand the people who like Persona 3 more than 4. I actually don't understand how someone could have that opinion. 4 just seemed much better. Um than 3 was. I don't know, like 3 had some good things, like Mitsuru is really likable, but overall I liked all the characters in 4. I liked all the characters in 4. I guess maybe there's fewer dungeons to deal with. Like literally every character I can think of in 4 was memorable. She has an okay character. She's not really my thing, but they did a kind of a tomboy character well. Yukiko is a massive waifu. I think one of my favorite things with Yukiko
was when they are trying to like they're like, maybe we've made done something to make somebody angry in the past, and Yukiko's like, nope. They're like, no, but everybody's done something to make people angry, and she's like, no, I've never done anything to make anybody angry. um, I really like her. Yukiko is such a great dude. I'd love it if Yukiko was my best friend IRL. Like, just hang out with him and just, like, shoot the shit and go to the mall and stuff. He's such a great guy. Um, Rize I really liked because you kind of expect her to be a thought or, like, to be a, like, the personality she winds up having is not what I thought she was going to have when she showed up. And she just has a lot of depth of the character, and I don't know, she's just a nice girl. It's good to have nice girls. I like her a lot. Naoto's a great character too for a lot of different reasons. Naoto's a great character. I did a profile on her a while back. Naoto's interesting because she is actually very beautiful. It's just she's one of the few female characters who I think actually kind of looks better um, in her kind of androgynous garb. I don't know. She's almost a like I think you'd almost call her a handsome woman. I mean, she doesn't really look masculine per se, but just not in the same way as like Rize or Yukiko. But no, she would be an amazing. Let's see here. But no, I like her a lot. Um, I didn't have Kenji play Kenji that much, unfortunately. Teddy was funny. I thought Teddy was hilarious. My favorite character though from Persona 4 is Nanako. Nanako is so sweet. Every time I play, it's funny because when I started playing Persona 4, I knew it would be a good thing, a good game as soon as Nanako showed up and she started calling you Big Brother. And I just went, "Aww, like you're the cutest thing ever." And I just love Nanako. Nanako is so cute. I wish she was my daughter. I wish she was my daughter and I don't know, I could hug her. Um, she's like what, like 8 or whatever, and she does like all the shopping and like the cleaning and shit. And she's just so well behaved and so well adjusted, even though her father's kind of a deadbeat. But once again, Dojima's flaws are very understandable, and I think the game addresses them in a very um, good way. I think it does a good job addressing it. I don't know, it just deals with the feels really well. But Archon of Plague says Nanako is best Dotaru. Is there a Dotaru thing? I don't know. I like that they put her in Dancing All Night and they had her do the June's song, which I thought was funny. But no, Nanako's the best. Um, I remember one time. I hope this doesn't get it taken down off of YouTube, but a friend of mine who I bullied into playing it, who loves Nanako as much as me, he's like, "Arjun, you want to hear the scariest thing ever?" I'm like, "Yeah, go ahead." He goes, "Nanako becomes a coal burner," and I'm like, "No, no." She's such a nice girl. I think I saw a picture of what she looks like when she grows up at some point. Let me see here. No, I don't think there's an official one.
I like one of the things I liked about in the anime was how they had Detective Nanako. Like they gave her her own episode where she like dresses up like Sherlock Holmes, and I was like, that's awesome. But no, I love Nanako. She's good. Um, I thought how they dealt with people like uncovering their personas was really good. Like once again, I think they did psychology really well. Like they really got the feels done properly. Like all the characters' interpersonal and intrapersonal conflicts made sense. They were very well established. Also, Persona 4 was just very wholesome. Like it was just it wasn't really like cynical at all. Um, it wasn't cynical. It was just kind of like a bunch of nice kids like hanging out and having fun and stuff. I was really kind of surprised. What do you think of Yosuke? Yosuke is a great dude. I wish Yosuke was my friend IRL. Yeah, Persona was one of those games where like I found the characters were believable, and they were like people I would actually like to know outside of it. It's really good. Persona 3 was also excellent. I just don't think the characters were as strong. Let's see here. Uh, let's see here. Oh, why can't I join Japan's side? Okay, intervene in. Okay, I'm gonna have to reload. I don't get why joining Japan wasn't an option. So I did finally watch One Punch Man. I liked One Punch Man. It was better than I thought it was going to be. I didn't really know what to expect going into it, but no, I liked One Punch Man. Okay, there we go. I've joined the Pan-Asian Co-Prosperity Sphere. And I guess I'll join their war on the Entente. I mean, it doesn't super matter, because it's not like I... Oh no, I bordered the Dominion of India, right. Okay. So... it's time to retake our lands in the west. I'm gonna hold off for a while until I deal with some of this other shit. Let's see, mechanical warfare. Let's see, resource program, Neoslavism. I could do Middle Eastern direction. I don't know. None of these are very good. I guess mechanical warfare. I should have gone for yeah, I probably should have gone for mobile warfare. You're probably right. There we go. Return that land to Fangtung. I'll send in my troops and help them finish off China. Oh, trade relations with Japan. Cool. Okay. That's neat. Okay, so it does appear that allying with Japan was kind of like a pre-programmed option because there were a special set of events that just triggered. Cool. Okay, so let's see here. One of my issues is I kind of wish that the Fengtian government could form the Republic of China. I think that's like my biggest complaint about them is that they don't have a there isn't an event for them to become the Republic of China or to like change their name or any of that sort of thing. But oh well. I do like how they use irony in this because in IRL the Chinese Revolution succeeded and the Qing dynasty fled to Manchuria and was supported by the Japanese. In this one the Republic was defeated, so the Republic fled to Manchuria and was supported by the Japanese. So it is funny how you have the historical parallels are interesting. It's like poetry, they rhyme. I'll go with that for the moment. I'm not ready to confront Germany yet, so we're just going to put that off and help Japan develop. Oh, no, I hated Eden of the East. What are you talking about? Eden of the East was awful. I couldn't watch Eden of the East. It was like one of the worst things I've ever seen, but if you liked it. I'm glad somebody got some use out of that. Anyways, guys, I'm getting tired, so I think I'm going to go to bed. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow or whenever. Night, everybody.